Good morning. Welcome to the forecast discussion for August 29th, 2012. It is currently 9:16 a.m. and the weather conditions couldn't be better for the northern mid-Atlantic. We have temperatures ranging from the lower to mid 60s over the interior to the upper 60s to lower 70s along the coast. But the key point here and why it feels so wonderful outside is because of our dew points in the lower to mid 50s, some locations upper 50s. Basically, we have a very dry air mass in place, and that's leading to very pleasant weather conditions. Winds are from the north around 5 to 10 miles per hour, and temperatures are pretty much near normal. A very comfortable, very beautiful day is on the way for the northern mid-Atlantic. Taking a look at the recent infrared satellite picture, you can see high pressures in control over much of the Great Lakes back down through the mid-Atlantic, producing clear skies and comfortable weather conditions. This high-pressure system will remain in control through the rest of the week. Now, as this high-pressure system shifts off the coast, we're going to see an increase in humidity, but that won't be until Friday and Saturday. As for highs for today, look for temperatures ranging from the upper 70s to lower 80s for most locations, possibly a few mid-80s over the Philadelphia metropolitan area. But otherwise, tranquil weather conditions in control. Taking a look at the water vapor satellite picture, you can see we have a trough in place over the eastern United States. We're on the neutral to back end of this trough, which leads to a lot of sinking air. So that's what all this red and black is all about. And then, of course, further to the south, we have a stream of very deep tropical moisture over the southeast. And, of course, Hurricane Isaac moving into the Gulf Coast, which we'll talk about in just a moment. Actually, let's talk about Isaac right now. Now, looking at Isaac, it's a very impressive hurricane. Well, it's a Category 1 hurricane. What makes Isaac impressive is that it's moving very slowly, and as a result, it is dropping a tremendous amount of rain. And instead of hurricanes usually make landfall, move into land, weaken. This hurricane, even though it only has 80-mile-per-hour winds, which is still pretty strong, it's just sitting along the coast. So instead of a few hours of 80-mile-per-hour sustained winds, you have hour after hour after hour. And that can create a tremendous amount of damage and also a tremendous amount of coastal flooding. And so unfortunately, that's exactly what southeastern Louisiana and Mississippi are dealing with right now. Now, when we take a look at the infrared satellite picture, the good news is that we are starting to see some dry air starting to work into the western side of Isaac. And that's going to be important as some of that dry air will start to weaken Isaac and cause the hurricane to start to weaken into a tropical storm, eventually a tropical depression. But the main story here, especially with all this convection over the western portion of Isaac, is the heavy rainfall. You're talking about 9 inches of rain already falling over portions of New Orleans, and there's a lot more rain on the way. Up to 2 feet of rain, possibly even up to 3 feet in maybe some isolated locations, will be possible from this hurricane. And that's a lot of rain to get rid of over the Gulf Coast. And you can see on the radar here, just a tremendous amount of rain just rotating through Louisiana, rotating through southern Mississippi. So this whole area right here is going to be dealing with a tremendous amount of flooding here. It's not the same type of storm as a Katrina. Now, a lot of people are referencing Katrina. It's a different type of hurricane here. Katrina slammed into the Gulf Coast. It moved in, created a tremendous amount of wind, tremendous amount of coastal flooding due to a strong storm surge. But Katrina moved on. This hurricane is weaker, much weaker. Let me be clear about that. It's much weaker, but it's also moving much slower. So the impacts are different. You still have coastal flooding because you have winds coming right into Lake Okeechobee and all over southeastern Louisiana and into New Orleans. So you have the water just being piled in, but you also have tropical rainfall just constantly training over the same location. So different impacts here. The impacts aren't so much the winds, it's the very heavy rainfall that is starting to overwhelm the sewers and overwhelm the pumping stations, which so far are handling this storm very well, but there's only so much rainfall you could take. So Isaac is slowly going to move inland today, and as it's doing so, it will slowly weaken. It's still a hurricane right now. Here's the center of it. But as Isaac moves to the northwest very slowly, it will start to weaken as it starts to move over land, and eventually become a tropical storm. But again, the key impacts here are going to be the heavy rain. So let's take a look at the latest forecast guidance as we head back into the northern mid-Atlantic. Again, for this evening, high pressure will be in control. Isaac moves inland as we look at this evening. For tomorrow, high pressure remains in control, but notice the high pressure system is starting to shift closer to the coast, and as a result, we're going to start to see our wind shift from the north to eventually the southwest, and that's going to mean an increase in humidity. So tomorrow is still going to be very comfortable. Lows in the upper 50s to lower 60s, highs in the lower to mid 80s, but we're also going to start to see an increase in humidity. By the end of the week, here we are for Friday evening, what's left of Isaac is going to move into the Mississippi River Valley. Now, this is great news for them because they need the heavy rain. So they're going to get a bit of a drought buster here with Isaac slowly moving into the Mississippi River Valley. Meanwhile, our high pressure system along the coast starts to become established. We're going to see an increase in humidity and temperatures on Friday. Still dry, still very comfortable, but we're going to see temperatures rebound into the mid 80s to lower 90s, even for the Philadelphia metropolitan area. And with the increase in humidity, it will feel more like 95. So a little bit of a last shot of summer as we head into the last day of August. For the Labor Day weekend, high pressure will generally be in control. There could be an isolated shower on Sunday morning, but otherwise, I'm expecting dry conditions for most locations. As that cold front moves through, again, Saturday is going to be humid and hot with temperatures in the mid 80s to lower 90s, feeling like the mid 90s in some locations, especially in the Philadelphia metropolitan area. That cold front moves through Saturday night into Sunday morning with a few isolated showers. And then on Sunday, we go back down to normal with lower humidity and temperatures ranging in the upper 70s to lower 80s. So very comfortable weather conditions for Sunday. And for Monday, if you are going out and doing anything for the holiday weekend, you will have enjoyable, comfortable weather conditions, especially for Sunday and Monday. And then as we head on to early next week, we're going to see a deeper trough start to develop over the eastern United States. Going to keep an eye on this cold front for Tuesday. Could bring some showers and thunderstorms. Right now I'm holding this cold front off for another 24 hours. And then I think late Tuesday night into Wednesday morning that cold front moves through with scattered showers. And Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday looks to be rather tranquil with Canadian high pressure in control. But notice we're starting to see a nice distinctive change in our weather pattern as we head towards next weekend, the first weekend of September, and NFL football. We're starting to see a trough around the Aleutian Islands, a ridge over the west, and a nice deep trough developing over the eastern United States, with some ridging around the Canadian Maritimes and Greenland. Interesting weather pattern unfolding there. So that is your forecast discussion for today. Of course, I'm your meteorologist, Stephen DiMartino. You can follow the latest weather information at nynjpaweather.com and nynjpaweather on Twitter and Facebook. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe out there.